In a potential second Trump administration, how would the government's power be wielded? This isn't about vague campaign promises, but concrete plans and proposed executive orders that could touch every part of American life. Today, we're breaking down the 5 most controversial policies being proposed, from overhauling the justice system to rolling back civil rights, and what they could actually mean. First is the pledge to drain the swamp by asserting direct presidential control over the federal government. The key is a plan called Schedule F, a proposed executive order that would reclassify tens of thousands of career civil servants, stripping them of their job protections. This would make them easier to fire, a move critics say would politicize the government, while supporters argue it increases accountability to elected officials. This ties into aggressive deregulation, with plans to declare a national energy emergency, to fast-track fossil fuel production and proposals to rescind environmental and labor rules, all in the name of economic growth. Next, an America First foreign policy that's more confrontational. This approach is skeptical of international alliances and includes a proposed universal 10% tariff on all imported goods. Economists warn this could trigger a trade war and raise costs for American consumers. There's also the recurring threat to reevaluate America's role in NATO, suggesting the US might not defend allies who don't spend enough on their own defense. The message is clear: the US would act in its own self-interest, using its economic and military might to achieve its goals, no matter how allies react. The third policy is a sweeping rollback of civil rights enforcement and diversity initiatives. A top priority would be an executive order to eliminate all diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI, programs across the federal government. The plan also includes withholding federal funds to pressure states, schools, and private companies to scrap their own diversity initiatives. Furthermore, it aims to weaken disparate impact liability, a legal tool used to fight systemic discrimination in housing and employment. Finally, there is a push for new rules requiring documentary proof of citizenship to vote, which civil rights groups argue would create significant barriers for many voters. We're more than halfway through. If you find this analysis valuable, please hit that like button and subscribe. It helps us continue to do these deep dives. Now, let's get to policy number 4. Perhaps the most well-known policy platform is immigration. A potential second term includes a plan for the largest mass deportation program in history. This would involve using the National Guard and deputizing local law enforcement to find and deport undocumented immigrants. The plan calls for ending the policy that prohibits enforcement in sensitive locations, like schools and churches, and building large-scale detention camps to hold people. It also proposes ending birthright citizenship, which would face immediate constitutional challenges. Critics warn of devastating human and economic impacts, while proponents argue it's necessary for national security. Finally, the fifth policy, using the powers of the state to target political opponents. This is based on the unitary executive theory, which suggests the president has total control over the executive branch, including the Department of Justice. In practice, this would mean directing the DOJ to investigate political rivals, with vows to appoint a special prosecutor to go after opponents. To ensure compliance, the Schedule F plan would be used to remove career officials at the DOJ and FBI and replace them with political allies. This would aim to transform the Justice Department from an independent arbiter of the law into a political weapon. So, what does this all add up to? A plan to assert total control over the federal workforce. An America First foreign policy. A rollback of civil rights. A mass deportation campaign. And the Justice Department used it against political opponents. Together, these policies represent a vision for America that is fundamentally different from the one that has existed for generations, raising profound questions about the balance of power and the future of American democracy. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments.